everybody, Philip with you, and welcome back to DMS Adventures,
where we approach brevity with just a little bit of levity.
Not!
So you find yourself with an unexpectedly beautiful day and you want to go camping.
But you don't have a lot of time.
Well, we're here today to show you an as of yet undetermined number of tips to help you get out quickly when you want to go on a camping trip.
So for tip number one, when you're trying to go on a quick camping trip, just don't video it.
What is going on with this thing? Tip number two, make sure that your vehicle already has gas. Tip number three for going on a quick camping trip is find someplace local, like maybe an hour away, 2 at the most, hopefully a little closer than that. And that way you can get there relatively quick, get set up, and start enjoying your camping trip. Tip number four for having a quick camping trip is to have a tent that is super fast to put up. Now we have the Gazelle T8, which for the size of it hardly takes any time at all to set up. We also have the Cinch Hub, which is also super fast to put up. So although you don't have to have a super fast hub tent to put up to have a quick camp, it does help out a lot. Who we got there, Rocky Mountain Mister?
Elsamir.
Elsa got to come on this trip. Yay, where's Ray?
In the car.
Oh yeah, we did bring Ray, didn't we? There's our T8, set up and ready to go. Rocky Mountain Sister is working on the inside.
Tip number five from going on a quick camping trip. Just grab food from your pantry or refrigerator and throw it into a box and a cooler. So tip number 6
is use a fire starter block thing to get your fire going super fast. So for our quick meals for the night, it is Mountain House, mac and cheese, and the Peak Refuel chicken pesto pasta. And while these are cooking inside, Rocky Mountain Mister's over here cooking us some hot dogs over the fire. Good job, Mister. Elsa, get away from the fire, you're too close. Well, you faithful few, taking a pause from our tips for a quick camping trip to enjoy our dinner and enjoy a nice fire. I think there's a pretty good and broad consensus that the Peak Refuel meals are delicious. And I don't know, people hate on the Mountain House a lot, but we're still kind of fans, especially the mac and cheese.
For the Peak Refuel and the Mountain House, you still need to do it longer than what it says, because we have to do the mac and cheese longer because some of the noodles are still crunchy and some of the chicken in there was still crunchy too, so do it longer than it says.
It's tasty. All right, you faithful few, I have to keep my voice down because we're in a campground, and when we came in here, we had a neighbor to our left and we had a neighbor to our right. And it's not a big deal, you know, that happens in a campground such as this, especially on a halfway nice day, on a Friday night, no less. When we got here, Rugged Mountain Mister was kind of noisy. He was using his outside voice in the outside, which, you know, can't blame him. But, you know, we had these neighbors to either side of us, and, you know, I was like, man, I don't want, you know, they probably came out here for some solitude and quiet, and here I'd bring a noisy kid. And so I was telling them, you know, be quiet, be respectful of our neighbors and all that. And one of our neighbors was a teenager when we got here, but then he was joined by a buddy, and those two were way louder than Rugged Mountain Mister was. So
Way louder than two of us combined.
I was kind of like, okay, Mister, you can, you know, let loose. So as we're sitting here having fireside chats, we had another random guy from the campground come up and ask us if we had lighter fluid. And yeah, we did not. I don't normally roll with lighter fluid. Of course, when you are on a quick camping adventure, that is the super fastest way to get a fire going.
Super fastest.
Super fastest? Is that not a word? So tip number 7, when you're going on a quick camping trip, you don't necessarily have to leave behind the luxuries. Make sure and remember something fun, because you don't want to get bored while you're sitting there in your tent. So Rugged Mountain Sister and Rugged Mountain Mister are over in the sleeping area, otherwise known as the bedroom. Mister's on his tablet, and we've got this new addition here. We've got a relatively inexpensive projector that we picked up actually off of eBay, and it's pretty cool. Got our laptop there to run a higher quality DVD instead of just running it off of my phone, and so we can just lay over here in bed. And then this is our view. I picked up this 50-inch retractable projector screen, and this is our setup for tonight. So we're just gonna lay back, watch a show, and then hit the sack. So I just want to tell you good night, and we shall see you in the morning. Well, good morning, ye faithful few. Look at that glorious sun back there. Some good looking stuff. We are just checking out this little trail that goes out the back of our campsite, just because we have time to kill until we go to show you what our tip number 8 is. Our mountain siblings are leading the way. Hey, this is just like our off-roading in the snow adventure, except with no snow. I think Mister is far enough. Oh, our Mountain Mister is being adventurous. I love it. Our Mountain Sister doesn't have the best choice of footwear, although they're pretty in the sunlight.
Tip number 8 is you don't need to bring a lot of stuff for breakfast. Just go out and get something tasty. Both, yeah.
Mirafee Elsa is trying to think of what our tip number 9 is going to be. Tip number 9 when you're trying to do a quick camping trip is bring a friend or a family member, because when you have 2 people, that cuts your time in half. And when you have 3 people, I mean, that cuts your time into thirds. Oh, yeah, you go, Mister. Get your legs into it. Just get that up in the truck for us. Good job. Well, you faithful few, I know you are waiting with bated breath for our final tip in having a quick camping adventure. But before we tell you what that is, we wanted to get out and enjoy this beautiful day, and we just knew you would want to come along with us. So here we go on a quick hike of trail number 2, which quite coincidentally is 2 miles.
Okay, I'm trying out this new selfie stick, so hopefully you'll see my face, and I'm tracking myself, so woo. Okay, so before we get to tip number 10, let us know down in the comments if you have any tips for us or just any tips in general, and comment them down in the comments. And also, actually, never mind, I don't remember what I was gonna say.
All right, you faithful few, I know you've been waiting patiently and expectantly for our tip number 10 on having a quick camping trip. And here it is. Now this one is probably the most difficult, but actually the most helpful tip that we have to give you. So when you're done and you get home, make sure to get all of your gear that you used and prep it again for the next trip. That way, when you have very little time and you need to get out in a hurry, everything is set and ready to go in a tote, or having your cooler cleaned out and ready to go. And that's just one of the most helpful ways to be able to get out on a quick camping trip. So for the Rugged Mountain Dad, the Rugged Mountain Sister, and the Rugged Mountain Mister, we want to thank you for coming along with us on this quick camping adventure. We hope these tips were helpful, and they may not have been, so if they weren't, I hope that our video here was at least mildly entertaining for you. So we want to thank you so much for watching, and you all have a great day!